Book title: Think and Grow Rich. Author: Napoleon Hill. Welcome to today's episode of Light Up Book Review. We're excited to have you with us again as we dive into today's review, a classic transformative book titled Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. About the book. In Hill's 1,937 landmark publication, Think and Grow Rich, he shares the secret of how to become rich with relatively little effort involved. What really counts is the mindset you adopt. A positive mindset will mean that positive things will come to you. A burning passion for your goal and persistence in the face of challenges are the main ingredients to become rich. Who is it for? Best suited for future millionaires, those wanting to become rich, spiritually minded people, entrepreneurs. In Think and Grow Rich, summary review, you'll learn how thinking the right thoughts will make you rich, why you don't need a fancy degree to become rich, what auto-suggestion means. Our brain is shaped by our minds. Even if minds are only a network of thought, and the brain exists in physical space, it's not complicated at all. If so, negative thoughts should, in time, lead to anxiety and failures, and positive ones should instill a person with just enough energy to lead a happy and successful life. But you know that already, don't you? After all, ever since the end of World War II, there's never been a shortage of books, all of which state pretty much the same, and there's a good chance that you have probably heard of and even read at least a few of these books. Well, The Power of Positive Thinking is the book that started the trend. First published in 1952, both scholars and health experts negatively reviewed the book, which was embraced almost immediately by millions of people around the world. They found in it a set of instructions for an utterly different way to live their lives, not another mere self-help guide a la Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Most of us have dreamed of becoming rich without having to put much effort into it. This desire has been around for a long time. As Hill's 1,937 landmark publication shows, in it he explains how thinking can literally make us rich. According to Hill, it's just a matter of the mindset you adopt. So get ready to discover for yourself the power of thought. Thinking to Grow Rich. When Hill was just a little boy, Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in history and the pioneer of the American steel industry during the 19th century, shared with him the secret of becoming rich. That is, if you have the right mindset, you can grow rich no matter what. Hill spent the next 25 years interviewing more than 500 of the richest people of his time to see if they all shared the same secret to success. To share what he learned, he wrote Think and Grow Rich. The power of thought is unfathomable, especially when coupled with a burning desire to achieve an aim. Hill says, you can think yourself into success as well. All you need is a sound idea. Just be aware. When riches begin to come, they come so quickly and in such great abundance that one wonders where they have been hiding during all those lean years. Be passionate about your goals. First of all, you will need a definite goal that you feel passionately about. Edwin C. Barnes, for example, had the definite desire to work with, not for, Thomas Edison. In the beginning, he didn't know Edison at all, but one day he simply walked into his workshop and proposed working together. This determination convinced Edison to hire him. When a man really desires a thing so deeply that he is willing to stake his entire future on a single turn of the wheel in order to get it, he is sure to win. It is the thought that counts. When we are truly determined to achieve one thing, it will manifest itself on the outside. Barnes actually managed to work with Edison in the end. Not for him, because he convinced Edison to let him sell Edison's dictaphone. Barnes grew rich by doing so and literally thought himself into a partnership with Thomas Edison. You need this burning desire for your goal in order to achieve it. This means you can control your fate because you can control your thoughts. Persistence is the other ingredient needed to become successful. Will, power, combined with desire, is the sure road to success. Your persistence will mean that you won't be held back by small failures or setbacks, and the intensity of your desire will keep you going until you reach your goal. An example for this is Henry Ford and his 8-cylinder motor. He instructed his engineers to create it, and even though they said this would be impossible, he instructed them to persist until they made it work. After many setbacks, they did manage to make it work in the end. Often, opportunity arrives in a different way than we expect it to. It can be disguised as misfortune or temporary defeat. Most people fail because they do not follow through on their goals and let themselves be discouraged by temporary defeat. Are you? Darby, for example, stopped digging for gold just 3 feet away from a gold vein worth millions of dollars. Have faith in yourself. You need to believe in what you want to achieve and have faith in yourself and your goals. Faith will be transformed by the subconscious into its spiritual equivalent, which will then transmit it to infinite intelligence, meaning that it will then become true. This belief in oneself can be strengthened by autosuggestion. All impressions received through the 5 senses are stopped by the conscious thinking mind, which then either delivers the impressions to the subconscious or stops them. This means that humans have absolute control over what reaches their subconscious minds. Through autosuggestion, you can control this process, and consequently, this would allow you to feed the subconscious with creative thoughts. To strengthen your ability of autosuggestion, write down your goal and read it aloud twice a day, once at night and once in the morning. If you feed your subconscious with thoughts that you are already in possession of what you crave for, this will trigger automatic thought habits, which can make your goals become reality. This self-reliance will also boost your persistence in achieving that particular goal. Use your imagination. Your imagination is where your burning desire to become rich is translated into action. It's the workshop of the mind. Imagination has led mankind to amazing achievements, including building up the expertise to explore the sky and the solar system, as well as facilitating communication over long distances through the telephone. In truth, our imagination is the only limit to what we can achieve. There are 2 kinds of imagination: synthetic and creative. The synthetic imagination rearranges known concepts and ideas into new combinations. The creative imagination, on the other hand, is where we come up with new ideas and receive new inspirations through direct communication with infinite intelligence. Creative imagination is also where one communicates with the subconscious thoughts of others. While the creative imagination works automatically, it can only come up with new ideas when pushed by a strong desire of the conscious mind. Your imagination is where you will translate your ideas into a plan for action. According to Hill, this imagination can be fed by sexual energy too. It is a desire that cannot be suppressed, but when harnessed in the form of creative expression, it can be usefully adopted to become rich. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and the professions were motivated by the influence of a woman. Utilizing knowledge. A good rule of thumb for any person wanting to become rich is to specialize in something or achieve an admirable level of proficiency through practice. And the good news is, you don't need any formal recognition of your skills to get there. According to Hill, schools and colleges teach general knowledge, which is of little use in accumulating money, because educational institutions do not specialize on the organization or the use of knowledge. The real meaning of education is the development from within, which is why many people who became extremely successful have often had very little formal education. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He only received 3 months of formal schooling in his life and still invented the light bulb. To utilize knowledge in your chosen field, you don't have to rely on your know-how and expertise. You can create a mastermind group of people with the knowledge you need and harness this information to achieve your goal. Similarly, you will need power to reach your aim, but power in the sense of organized and intelligently directed knowledge that will come as a byproduct of the diversity in skill in the group. On top of that, having this group will automatically lead to the creation of new, innovative concepts by combining various points of views. Economic advantages may be created by any person who surrounds himself with the advice, counsel, and personal cooperation of a group of men who are willing to lend him wholehearted aid in a spirit of perfect harmony. Planning the game. To achieve your goals, organized planning is essential, especially in terms of your mastermind group. Before forming it, you should be open about what you can give each of the participants in return for their cooperation. Then, arrange to meet several times a week until a plan is mapped out, and during the meetings, Try to address important issues in order to improve the cohesion between members. Don't give up if your first plan fails. Simply pivot and come up with a new one. Repeat that process until you hit the nail on the head. Thomas Edison, for example, failed 0 times before he finally invented the light bulb. When it comes to PLA, this is why, to become rich, you have to adjust your mindset to a positive one. The mind can either be dominated by a negative or positive emotion, so you have to make a conscious effort to concentrate on the positive. Form the habit of applying and using positive emotions. Eventually, they will dominate your mind so completely that the negatives cannot enter it. Do not let yourself be influenced by indecision, doubt, or fear. They're also just states of mind and can therefore be controlled. So make it a habit. Fear can be cured by forcibly repeating acts of courage or autosuggestion. Conclusion: adopt the right mindset, and you will become richer than you could ever have imagined. While Hill's book has been a best-selling book over the decades, it should be kept in mind that it was written in 1937. Many of his points are based on outdated views of the human psyche and makeup of the human brain. To modern readers, his explanations will often seem to be bordering on the spiritual. However, keeping that in mind, quite a few of his points still hold true today, that a positive mindset, determination, a specific goal, and a passion for your aims will help lead you to success. Actionable step: think of a definite goal in your life and write it down. Read it out loud twice a day to stimulate your mind into becoming obsessed with it. Then do something towards its actualization every week. Author's biography: Napoleon Hill was a very influential American writer in the area of personal development and self-help. He was a White House Foreign Relations Advisor during President Woodrow Wilson's tenure and was also responsible for writing and preparing the celebrated speeches delivered by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt during his tenure. Napoleon Hill, as well as a pioneer in the study of human behavior for success, is still probably the thinker who inspires most authors in this area of knowledge. Currently, the Napoleon Hill Foundation, USA, protects the memory of Napoleon Hill and disseminates his ideas and works around the world. That wraps up today's episode of Light Up Book Review. We believe you've gained valuable insights and lessons that can inspire and empower you on your journey to building wealth, starting from cultivating a positive mindset. Kindly join us again next Saturday at 7 a.m. Watt for another inspiring book review. Remember, Light Up Book Review is your opportunity to stay connected to powerful ideas that can propel you toward realizing your divine calling and harnessing your full potentials. Do have a splendid weekend.